I believe we can. The world is transitioning. By way of example, the world is transitioning from combustible engines to electric vehicles. Where are the lithium batteries that are going to power that transition? They're in Zambia, Zimbabwe, DRC. We have the capability, but in my humble opinion, what has evaded us since May 1963 in Addis Ababa, what has evaded us is the lack of economic integration of our continent. We have achieved the political objective of the founding mothers and fathers of the Organization of African Unity. We achieved it. With the defeat of apartheid in this country where I was born, we achieved it. But we have not achieved economic integration. It continues to evade us as Africans. So I believe you and I have a historic mission, standing on the shoulders of our founding mothers and fathers of the Organization of African Unity, to continue and to finish the job that they started. The economic emancipation and integration of our continent. So the African Continental Free Trade Area is not a trade agreement for people like me, bureaucrats. It is actually Africa's last opportunity. I do not believe we will have, as Africans, another opportunity. Again, this is it. My wife says, you don't sleep at night. Yes, I don't sleep at night because of the heavy responsibility. The heavy responsibility that you and I have to make sure that our continent succeeds, to stop the death of millions and millions of young Africans buried deep in the oceans of the Mediterranean, looking for opportunities abroad. This is what the African Continental Free Trade Area is about. If you look at Agenda 2063, the Africa that we want, this is one of the flagship projects. So we have a continental free trade area that encompasses the broad scope of Africa's economy. Digital trade, competition policy, investment protection, intellectual property rights, establishing a single point for intellectual property rights in Africa. Why is it that your companies must go to Geneva to protect their intellectual property rights? What do you expect a small medium enterprise to do to protect her intellectual property rights? Must she go to Geneva? So I can put it in technical terms. I can put it in trade speak. But fundamentally, it is about Africa's economic interests, because thousands and thousands of our companies are protecting their intellectual property rights in Geneva when we are here on the continent. Why do we not have a single point of protecting our SMEs? Why do we continue to go down the path that the colonialists established, which is to say, Aripo or Wapi, you go there, French speaking, English speaking? Why do we do that as Africans? Why do we say a particular company must go and protect themselves in another part of the world? So it is not just about trade law. What we are tasked with is a historic mission to fundamentally restructure the economy of our continent. I want to suggest to you this. There's not a single country in Africa, not a single country in Africa that can be singularly, globally competitive. It does not exist. Not South Africa, not Nigeria, not Morocco, not Kenya. None of us can ever be globally competitive singularly because the market is too small. We need one another. We need one another as Africans, as African economies, to integrate, to make sure that there's transit of goods, systems harmonization of customs, trade facilitation, movement of persons from this country to the other to power the global economy that we're in today.